Welcome back to the Grim Tapes, the channel where darkness meets truth. Tonight, we take you deep into one of the most chilling and iconic ghost stories in American paranormal history. This is not just any urban legend. This is a tale born from tragedy, wrapped in mystery, and kept alive through countless terrifying encounters. We're talking about the infamous ghost of Resurrection Mary, Chicago's haunted hitchhiker. She's said to be beautiful, young, and dressed in white. She appears on lonely roads and asks for a ride. But those who pick her up are never the same again. Who is Mary? Why does she haunt Archer Avenue? Is she trying to send a message from beyond the grave? Or is something far darker at play? Settle in, turn off the lights, and prepare to explore one of America's most terrifying real-life ghost stories. This is the complete and unnerving story of Resurrection Mary. Origins of the legend. The story of Resurrection Mary begins in the early 20th century in Chicago, Illinois. Archer Avenue, a stretch of road near Resurrection Cemetery, has long been considered a hotspot for ghostly activity. But the legend of Mary stands above all. According to local folklore, Mary was a young woman who attended a dance at the O. Henry Ballroom, now known as the Willowbrook Ballroom, sometime during the 1920s or 1930s. After an argument with her date, she reportedly stormed out into the cold Chicago night, choosing to walk home. Tragically, while making her way down Archer Avenue, she was struck by a car and killed. Her family buried her in Resurrection Cemetery, dressed in the same white gown she wore to the dance. And that should have been the end of it. But it wasn't. Shortly after her death, sightings began. Drivers would report seeing a young woman on the side of the road, pale and silent, asking for a ride. She would ask to be dropped off at Resurrection Cemetery. But before the car could stop, she would vanish into thin air. Was it guilt? Was it grief? Or was it something supernatural? First reported encounters. The earliest recorded encounter dates back to the mid-1930s. A man named Jerry Paulus claimed to have met a beautiful blonde girl at a dance in Chicago. They danced all night. She was cold to the touch but enchanting. When he offered to drive her home, she gave him directions that led to Resurrection Cemetery. As they neared the cemetery gates, she vanished from the passenger seat. Jerry was stunned. Days later, he visited the cemetery and asked around. He identified her from a photo shown to him by the cemetery staff. The name on the photo? Mary. The girl had died years before. Was Jerry hallucinating? Dreaming? Or did he really dance with a ghost? The cemetery gates incident. One of the most famous pieces of supposed evidence came in the 1970s, when a driver claimed to have seen Mary run into the cemetery. He watched in horror as she reached the locked gates and disappeared through them. The next day, visitors to the cemetery found something shocking. The iron bars of the gates appeared scorched and bent, with what looked like the imprint of human hands pressed into the metal. No one could explain it. The church denied anything supernatural. But the physical evidence was there, and it remains one of the most compelling pieces of the Resurrection Mary legend. Is it possible that Mary left a physical mark from beyond the grave? Multiple witness accounts. Over the decades, dozens of drivers have come forward with nearly identical stories. Mary appears late at night, always alone. Always in white. Sometimes she stands on the side of the road. Sometimes she walks out in front of cars, causing panic. In one case, a cab driver picked her up and drove her several miles. She remained silent for most of the ride. When he turned to ask her for directions, she was gone. These aren't isolated incidents. They've been reported over and over again, across different generations, by different people with no connection to each other. Are these mass hallucinations? A deeply embedded urban legend playing tricks on the brain? Or are people truly witnessing a spirit trapped in a tragic loop? Possible identities of Resurrection Mary. Despite the mystery, some researchers have tried to identify the real Mary. Several candidates have emerged, with the most likely being Mary Bregovy, a young woman who died in a car crash in 1934. However, Mary Bregovy did not die on Archer Avenue, and some believe she doesn't quite match the ghostly descriptions. Others point to a girl named Anna Maria Norcus, who died under similar tragic circumstances and was buried in Resurrection Cemetery. The truth is, no one knows for sure. The ghost might not be any of them. Or perhaps she is a combination of many tragedies. Archer Avenue has long been a corridor of death and despair. Could the ghost be a symbolic representation of the lives lost in the area? Cultural impact and media coverage. Resurrection Mary has appeared in books, TV shows, radio broadcasts, and countless documentaries. She is often ranked among the top ghost stories in the United States. Her story has inspired horror writers and paranormal investigators alike. She represents a specific kind of fear, the idea of being forever lost, endlessly searching for a way home. Her tale has been told in campfire stories, explored in paranormal shows, and debated on online forums. Yet, her presence never fades. New sightings are still reported even today. Why does this story endure when others fade? Paranormal investigations. Numerous paranormal teams have visited Resurrection Cemetery and Archer Avenue. Some report temperature drops, unusual EMF readings, and strange photographic anomalies. One team recorded what they claimed was a voice whispering, "I want to go home." Others have tried to make contact using spirit boxes or other devices. Some say they heard a woman's voice responding, while skeptics dismiss these as coincidental static. But when the stories span nearly a century and come from unrelated people, can they all be dismissed so easily? Archer Avenue, a portal to the paranormal? Archer Avenue is no stranger to ghostly tales. The area has been linked to Native American burial grounds, ancient trails, and other haunted sites. Some believe the entire stretch of land is a kind of supernatural conduit. Other ghost sightings have occurred along the same road, including phantom monks, spectral carriages, and shadowy figures in the woods. Could Archer Avenue itself be cursed? Or does it merely attract the energies of those who left this world under tragic circumstances? The psychology of a ghost story. Why do people believe in Resurrection Mary? Some psychologists argue that urban legends like this help people cope with death and uncertainty. The repetition of the story creates a shared cultural narrative. Others say it's simply a case of pattern recognition gone awry, our brains interpreting shadows as figures. But can the psychology of belief fully explain a story that refuses to die? A legend that lives on. Every few years, a new witness emerges. Sometimes it's a teenager driving home late at night. Sometimes it's a trucker passing through. They don't always know the legend, but their stories match the same pattern. And so, the legend of Resurrection Mary continues. She walks the road. She asks for a ride. And then she vanishes. Maybe it's just a story. Maybe it's more than that. But one thing is certain, Archer Avenue will never feel the same once you know who might be walking beside you. So what do you think? Who is Resurrection Mary? Is she the ghost of a girl who died too young? A tragic soul trying to find her way home? Or is she something else entirely? Have you or someone you know ever encountered a roadside ghost or mysterious hitchhiker? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of America's most haunted legends, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the Grim Tapes, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss another terrifying tale. We explore the darkest corners of real-life horror and bring the forgotten into the light. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and remember, some stories are more than just stories.